Duel Review is brought to you by NexusDigitalComics.com. On today's Duel Review, it's the Blade movies, all three of them. I'm RJ.
And I'm Nick.
Let's get to it.
Welcome to Friday the 3rd of August. We are doing all three Blade movies.
That's right. Viewers suggested that I do Blade, so we're doing all three. So we watched them all recently. They're good overall. I mean, I enjoyed the Blade movies. I wish there was more. There is a rumor of possibly a prequel, but I think it's been a rumor for a long time.
Yeah, I think it's one of those things that
it might be rebooted, I suppose. But anyway, so Blade 1, I love that movie. It has a lot of sentimental value, I guess. I don't know. It's one of those things. It's the first movie that I saw that made me think, they really can do this, comic thing, make the comics a movie. Yeah, I was actually really worried at first when I went in because I just had this feeling like if this fails, we're not going to see X-Men. We're not going to see, all my favorite comic books, Spawn. Well, Spawn had already come out. That was actually a decent movie. It was okay received. But, whatever. Blade was like the first, Marvel, fairly large budget, not really, but, in the day, for a comic book movie, for sure. And I enjoyed I thought it was fun that they picked Wesley Snipes. I think he did a great job. He kicked some ass.
He did.
And the acting, is a little meh. I do like the guy, Stephen Dorff, who did Frost. I think that's fun. You can stop that now. The first one, it has this magical scene in the very beginning where, they go to a butcher, like, what is it called? Like, where they butcher cows and whatnot.
Oh, yeah.
And they have a bloodbath party or whatever. Yeah. And the scene is so cool. There's all these vampires and you're following a vampire who brought, a mortal, a regular human in. And you see it unfold, blood starts dripping from the, like the sprinkler system or whatever. And he's like, watch, and then it starts really raining down. All vampires, they show their colors. Otherwise, it's like this techno-y, like, in fact, I have it on my ringtone on my phone right now. But that scene really sets the tone, and it was freaking amazing.
Yeah.
Watching it now, you start seeing a little bit of, like, the teeth look a little different, and some of the characters look stupid, when they're doing their little thing or whatever. It's a little hammy that way. Yeah. But back then it was like, this is perfect. And it really didn't stop. Like, it was a good movie. There are definitely some special effects in there that I don't like.
Yeah.
The whole like bubble thing.
Yeah, I think that happens to Frost.
Yeah, at the end. But actually, having rewatched it, it wasn't as bad as I remembered.
Yeah, I agree.
They did have some really bad blood particle effects because they really weren't doing that well back then. It looks like really bad CG, like mercury or something, rather than blood kind of thing. So it takes you out a little bit, and they do more wire work in this one than the other two. In fact, I'm going to talk about the other two and the problems I have with the CG fighting in the other two. It's really unnecessary.
Yeah.
This one has some great fight scenes. We see Whistler, who is played by Chris Christopherson, very well. I think he's great. My wife is like, that's so odd that he's in this movie, but she likes him too.
He does really well.
And again, Wesley does pretty good. I mean, there's not a whole lot of acting in this role, like as far as, whatever. So he doesn't really get to show his chops, and sometimes it's a little dorky, like not quite right.
Yeah, his Blade really doesn't have too many emotions to
Right. He's very stoic. Yeah. But he does kick some serious ass.
And he smiles sometimes.
There's some fun set pieces too, whatnot. So that's that one. The archive is awesome.
The archive, stuff. I like that actually a lot. I like the whole get up there.
So that's that one. Definitely a lower budget feel. I hearken it to like the first Resident Evil.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, which actually that's probably the most solid one, but it was very low budget and it looks kind of cheesy in comparison to some of the other stuff. Although, let's get to two. This is the best one, most well received. Guillermo del Toro. I'm sorry, the first one was directed by Stephen Norrington. Did I say that?
I don't know if you did.
1998. This one is 2003, two, and it's Guillermo del Toro. And this one centers around, they're kind of working together with a vampire faction to hunt down these monsters that like their mouths open.
Yeah, they're I guess
they're
the
vampires.
Yeah, they're vampires, right?
Yeah, and they're basically an experiment. You find out, blah blah blah. But Ron Perlman is in this one, is also known as Hellboy and lots of other movies. And just a fun cast. This is a fun kind of team assemble kind of thing, because they've got the large dude with the hammer who also likes the little girl with the shocking red hair.
I was going to say that it reminds me of Vampire Hunter: Deep Bloodlust.
Right,
the guy with the hammer.
Right, and both of the team in this and Vampire Hunter is definitely something I pull inspiration on for my own stuff. So I really enjoy the kind of that team aesthetic. Also, I noticed, and he might disagree a little bit, but I noticed that the vampires in this, like the vampire ninjas, they look so much like the Talons from the Night of Owls storyline in DC. They even got like the little owl glasses that like open and close or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah.
It looks so familiar to me.
Yeah, I mean, I guess if you throw like a little beak on there, I guess it would work. But
yeah,
I don't know.
But anyway, again, the costuming is really good. Like they have these nice little touches, especially in this one, that are very Pan's Labyrinth and all the Hellboy and all that other stuff. Right. It's just these little touches that make it so much richer. And they're just kind of throwaway, but they all work together. So this is the most polished movie, I think.
I agree.
And but it is a really interesting story. The main villain actually does pretty well. I kind of get that underworld thing where it's like vampire meets werewolf, like the new species, whatever. And I kind of don't like that. But in this one, I think it's pretty cool. It's fun to see the mouths.
Yeah, okay. I like that.
So this is a very solid movie. I think 1 and 2 are well worth it. The third one, a lot of people don't like. Now, I like it more than most people, apparently, but there is a lot not to like. The thing I guess I say about this is it has the strongest characters and the weakest story. This one, it's very underworldy. In fact, I kind of mix it up sometimes, like certain scenes. They're bringing back Dracula or whatever his name is. I don't know. Draco. Yeah, the original vampire or whatever, and they're bringing him back so that they can hopefully walk in the day. That's kind of their thing. So if you don't know, Blade is a daywalker. He is part human, part vampire. He was basically turned while he was being birthed, kind of thing. Yeah, which is compelling. That's an interesting idea. Cool. And he can walk in the day, so he has all the strength of the vampire, none of the weakness, kind of thing. Although he does fight with the bloodlust kind of thing, but he has a serum that he uses. But it always has to be changed, blah, 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 blah. So this one, the other vampires want to have that same sort of power where they can walk out in the day. And of course, they have no qualms about drinking blood, but they want to be more powerful and have that ability. So in the first movie, we see Frost like cake on the makeup or whatever. Yeah. So it kind of takes away some of it, because it's like, well, why don't they just do that then? You know what I mean? Like in the second one, they wear helmets out in the sunlight, and they're fine. So it's kind of like, why is it such a big deal if they can just wear helmets? Whatever. I don't know. So the third one, they're trying to bring back this all-powerful whatever, and he's just kind of a douche, and I don't know. It's not really that compelling. This one also, I guess I should say the second one kind of suffers from some of that CG battle stuff.
Yeah, some of the CG battles
They want Blade to jump a little extra high or twist a certain way, and so they throw in the CG, and it wasn't quite there yet. Yeah. It's old enough that it's like it takes you out a little bit. And this one has less of that, but it still has just a few that are like, what? Why didn't they just... It's okay if he jumps like a human for a while. It's okay. I mean, whatever. Or use wires. I don't know. It just didn't work. But in this one... Again, Wesley Snipes kicks ass. I think this is probably the worst acting he does, though. Out of
I think that's because he has the most
most lines.
Most lines in this one.
But again, it's not enough to really take me out, And he does kick ass with I love seeing him like disable people and stuff. Like he does a really good tactical fighting kind of thing.
Yeah, I agree.
He's badass. And then the other one is what's her name? Jessica Biel. She's freaking badass. I think she kicks more ass as a woman in this film than any other woman I've ever seen. Like. I can't think of another role or another, set of scenes or whatever, another movie where a woman kicks so much ass. I love all the little gadgets she has. I love that she like unzips her sleeves to get the bow, like get full range with a bow and arrow. And I love how they did it. I love how they took care of that character. I also really enjoy Ryan Reynolds' character. He's a little Deadpool-esque. He makes all these quips, although...
But, he has to be Deadpool. I mean...
Yeah, I hope so, please. But the thing I'll say is that I don't think he wrote them. I think they were written for him, and they're a little bit tame for him. So it's a little weird, some of them.
But they were funny,
like the Care Bears one and whatever. But they are still funny, yeah. And I really wish there was more of that character. He plays King. He's like a former vampire kind of thing. Well, he knows Parker Posey's character. Parker Posey, another one. People apparently hate her, but I think she's great because she's very awkward and weird, and she's got this mouth, the face that just works so well for me as a vampire. Yeah. And she has, fun with her hair and her wardrobe or whatever. I also like Triple H in this, the wrestler. He's in there. He's just this dumb jock, whatever. It's fun. I don't know. He's got a little Pomeranian that has the same thing that we saw in 2, where the mouth opens. He's like a vampire dog. They're trying, they've been experimenting basically. And so there's a lot of fun to be had, a lot of character. It's just the story is weak. You don't really care. There's a lot of other characters because Whistler has now, passed. He in the beginning of the film, I think, or is that the second one?
No. In the beginning of the third one, he's alive, but he's been turned, but he's been put into stasis.
So anyway, he has a daughter, which is played, it's Abigail Whistler, played by Jessica Biel. That's her, and he's been training her from birth, but apparently never told Blade. Anyway, so they find each other, and now that Whistler's gone, she's like, okay, well, now we're your support. And he Blade's been around for a long time or whatever, and so he doesn't really know if he can count on them or not. He kind of thinks they're just children or whatever. But there's a lot of them, and they're looking for a cure for vampirism and whatnot.
Right.
So there's some interesting characters. A blind girl with her mother that is the lead scientist or whatever, and then we get
well, the blind mother and the daughter, right?
And what'd I say?
The blind girl and her mother.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Yeah, the blind mother and then the girl.
Right.
And then Patton Oswalt is in there. He's just kind of like this. He's kind of like Q, or what? He makes the weapons or whatever.
Right.
And then who else is there? I forget the other guy.
There was a driver.
But it's very short for their roles.
Yeah.
So, S hits the F and whatever. And I don't know. It's kind of this vehicle for some cool action sequences, and there's really nothing else.
All three movies are fun in their own respect. The third one, again, like you said, it has great characters. It's very you get very into the characters, whereas the second one, it's got this team thing, but the team is the enemy anyways.
But that one had great characters too, but they were a little less fleshed out. I would have loved to see Guillermo del Toro continue and do Blade 3. I think it would have been a much better movie.
I agree.
So anyway,
and the first one has the love of bringing forth a genre that we wanted to see, and that's comics and the movies.
And the third one I didn't mention is David S. Goyer, and it was 2004.
Right.
So anyway, I would love to see this rebooted, possibly. I don't know who would play Blade. I think Wesley Snipes did a very fine job.
Yeah.
He's had all that trouble lately, or semi-lately, last couple of years, with all the tax crap, which is unfortunate. I haven't... What movies has he done lately?
I don't know. I don't think I've...
Demolition Man is a good one for him. Yes. You want to check that out.
Yeah, that was good. Phoenix, what was his name? Phoenix, something Phoenix. Sorry, something Phoenix.
This was,
Simon Phoenix.
It was really one of the first comic book converted properties. It's really the first one to be dark.
When did Judge Dredd come out?
Yeah, but that's not dark.
Well, it's kind of dark.
Not really.
All right.
I don't think so. Anyway. Whatever. Check them out. Tell us what you think. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and check out Duel Review. Check out all our playlists, Game Labs and Fover and One Shots. And we got Spotlight and Filler for comics. He's doing a great job. And Moonflower is a lot of fun. So go check them out and spend some time and give us comments.
Yeah, please leave comments. We love comments. And check out our Spiderwolf. You can buy our wares at spiderwolf.com.
Still got our card game and T-shirts and prints and short stories, all that good stuff. All right, guys. I don't know why you're laughing. Oh, I got it.
Oh.
I called it.
You did. You were like, I got it. You got it. Call in the field.
Next week on Duel Review, we take a look at some Transformers comics.
Welcome to Friday the 3rd of August. We are doing all 3 Blade movies.
That's right. Viewer requested that we take a look at Blade, and so I decided to do all 3 of them. It's kind of a lot to put into one thing, but we're going to try. So, 1, 2, and 3. First one came out... Damn it, I forgot to pull up my research in the book. We're doing this over again, obviously. I'm every woman. I don't know why that popped in my head. Comes from my Birdcage days.
Burge?
Yes.
It's a bird cage?
Bird. You had a perfectly good joke you could have run with, but no, you had to throw in the syntax thing.
You're right.
Destroy it.
Could have been like your bird cage days. What?
It's getting hot in here, Nick. Getting hot.
We got 2 more episodes to do, buddy.
Yeah.
And then we can run through the sprinklers.
One for you, one for me. I don't know how you can wear a hat and an overshirt.
Well, it's straw. So
Oh.
the wind just blows
Oh,
up.
wait.
Please don't blow on me. Please don't blow on me.
I don't want air from another man.
Seriously, I don't. If I'm choking to death, I don't want it.
No problem. I'll remember that.
Yeah, I'll be choking and be like, whoa.
like, I don't know, he's dying, he's suffocating, I gotta get him CPR. And then he like pulls out a contract, and it's like signed by me and says, I will not give man breath to, in any circumstance. Have to go, see if there's a neighbor girl around. Or dog. Use my dog like a bellows.
I'm just picturing Einie now. Just
I'd use Greta.
good, because no man air.
Yeah, exactly. Greta's a girl. Alright. She'd probably try to kiss you, though.
Oh. It had to happen.
You notice I don't put those in there anymore.
Yeah, I do. You're like, nope.
Well, they're not funny. They don't surround anything else. There's no joke that's associated with them.
I think
there's nowhere to put them. Is what I'm saying. They're so unique. There's nowhere to put them. I'm sorry.
It sounds like a compliment, so I'll take it. Ah, not near my sandwich. I have to eat that,
The DVD?
Yes.